How's it going? Checking in on my daily update. One of the big things I've been focusing a lot on at the moment has been the podcast. I've had a bit of a break for a few weeks, been very sporadic actually since June, and certainly hadn't posted anything, published any content since the beginning of September. Um, and I've just got back into the habit of doing it again. So I'm delivering a series of solo shows, but also looking at, or I am already gathering together some interviews with others as well, which I'll then publish on a weekly basis in the new year. And I'm actually quite excited about this because it's the first time that I'll have had a structure, a plan to it. Whenever I've done the podcast in the past, it'd be very unusual for me to have anybody um, content ready to go for the next week. I'll literally record an episode and then publish it the following Monday. Whereas now I'll have, hopefully, by the end of this year, I'll have 5 or 6 interviews in the can and ready to go, which means that I can continue to create that content through January, some of my own, some of it more interviews, but there's less pressure to do something every single week, which is, I think, what's undone me in the past. And this is off the back of what I noticed through the last 3 months, since it's been really busy and some things have dropped, and the podcast has been one of them. And I just don't want that to happen on a regular basis. So I did a little bit of work today on just really teeing up some more guests. As I said, I've already got 3 interviews done, and I've got, I think, another 3 coming up next week. But yeah, next week I think. No, I haven't got any this week, so 3 next week, and more guests lined up to come online in the near future as well. So whether that's in January or February, and I think this really does have increasing significance within the world of what I'm doing with my speaking and the opportunities I've got for driving traffic from my audiences to the podcast and vice versa as well. It's just a useful resource. A big thing that I want to really focus on in the next, not just the next 12 months, but the next 3 to 5 years is under the umbrella of legacy. And that's writing books, creating podcasts, more products and programs. I've had a pretty good year of legacy work this year with the app. And legacy really just, for me, it just means creating stuff that once it's done, I can move on to the next thing. So I've got a number of programs that I've focused on developing, but I want to have the podcast as being a really central part of that. And I think that's, for me anyway, that's an important part of sharing my ideas, sharing my messages, and helping people in a variety of different ways as well. But the the plan is not just to have that legacy as just, it's just there because things like the podcast, obviously that's free, but it then supports the messages that I'm delivering from the stage as well, and from training rooms. I can use the podcast and interviews from the podcast, not just the things that I'm saying, but things that others are saying as well, to draw out some other insights that I can share from with those different audiences. So it all sort of meshes nicely together. I have actually also presented today. It was a very short 20-minute session this afternoon on learning and leaning, and it was an interesting project to work on. It was for Camwell, for one of their clients, RSG, and it was about looking back over the last 12 months and learning, taking the lessons, and then leaning into 2023 and how we can apply those. It's a process that I've used myself for many years, and it's one that I actually had some fun distilling down. So I created a worksheet that goes behind that particular session that I just delivered, and the session was more of a high level. This is why you should do it, and what the advantages are, and it's more of a kind of an emotive drive, and also a bit of an example of how it can work as well. So hopefully, I mean, there was a few on the call. Hopefully, some of them will have actually taken some time. Will take some time over the next few weeks to sit down and do their work. And I've put the call out there asking if anybody wants to get in touch, let me know how they got on. Then I'll be more than happy to hear from them. I do find that's often the missing link with speaking, with the coaching, and with a lot of the group work I've done in the past. You can see people move through that progress, and you can see what action they've taken. Don't get that so much with the speaking. So it will be nice if people got in touch and let me know how they got on. But anyway, there's my update for the day. As always, thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Bye for now.